A boost for New Zealand's fight against climate change, how we're setting an example for the rest of the world. COVID booster uptake slows, the vaccine Kiwis are instead asking for, and why Te Whatu Ora is taking legal action to stop nurses from striking. Atamaria, I'm Shuri Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. The government's unveiled plans to subsidise one of the country's biggest greenhouse gas emitters. A new partnership between the government and New Zealand Steel will see at least 800,000 tonnes of pollution removed each year. They're replacing half the coal used at its Glenbrook site with electricity. The project requires about $300 million to get off the ground, with a government contribution of $140 million. New Zealand Steel's parent company BlueScope say it's a landmark partnership between public and private sectors. It's also been described as a template for governments and steelmakers around the world. New Zealand may be seeking new trade partners at a US Pacific summit today. Prime Minister Chris Hipkins is in Papua New Guinea and will meet with his counterparts from India and PNG. A FaceTime with US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken's also likely after President Joe Biden postponed his visit to the Pacific. It'll be Hipkins' first time meeting many of the region's leaders before he returns to New Zealand early tomorrow morning. Most eligible New Zealanders are yet to get the COVID-19 booster. The Omicron-specific vaccine was rolled out to people over 30 from April and would have been the fourth or fifth jab for those up to date with their doses. But up until May 12, Health Ministry figures reveal only about 411,000 boosters, nearly all second and third doses, had been administered. Meanwhile, there's frustration over the delay in getting the Monkeypox vaccine formally signed off. The jab was made available to eligible people in an unapproved capacity at the start of the year, but can't be advertised until it's had the tick of approval. The Ministry of Health says MedSafe hasn't received a complete application from the company behind the jab. And Te Whatu Ora is resorting to legal action to stop Gisborne nurses from striking this week. About 24 staff from Gisborne Hospital's acute ward plan to walk off the job for an hour on Wednesday. The New Zealand Nurses Organisation will oppose the interim injunction at a court hearing in Wellington today. While Te Whatu Ora acknowledges staff's right to strike, in this instance it argues it's unjustified. A spokesperson says there's work underway to address health and safety concerns raised by employees. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more stories and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.